Well, Nqobile residents in KZN are ready to defend their local clinic against being merged with St. Margaret Hospital Clinic. Now, the problem is that the Nqobile Clinic services is helping thousands of community members, and the merger would mean patients would be left with nothing. So how is it possible, if there's a merger, that some could be left with nothing? Well, luckily, we have eNCA reporter Nqobile Madlala, who's on that story for us. Let's go over to her now and try and get a sense of this. Nqobile, so help me understand, if there's a merger, I would have thought this was to benefit patients and the community. Clearly, I've got this wrong. What have you got for us?
Well, Gareth, one would imagine that that merger would be great for the community. But of course, if you have to walk at least for more than 5 kilometers to get to the nearest place where you can get some assistance, it's going to be very difficult to see the merger as something that's really great. We're talking about all the people here, elderly who needs this assistance. We spoke to some of the community members there, and they were speaking to us about how quickly it is for them to go from their homes to this clinic and how easy it is for them to get assistance. Some of them have tried this Clydesdale clinic, and they allege that the area is a bit more slower. Some of them have been there once or twice and they haven't gotten the help that they needed. So it sort of scares them to think that there could be the merger between the two. But of course, I do have a community leader, Gareth, who's going to speak to us about these issues. So I'm going to bring him in. And I want to bring you in because one would think that the merger is something good, but obviously for your community, no. Tell us a bit more about how are they affected and why don't they want this merger?
Firstly, we totally disagree what the department has been saying, because the clinic that we are fighting for is very good for the communities, assisting the community, and if they want to close it down, it will cost a lot of people to suffer, and some there will be consequences, in fact, because some they will be not affording the traveling. They will not have money to go to that hospital, that clinic that they are talking about, of St. Margaret Clinic, because it's too far. And the majority of our community members are not working. So there's no money to travel. So we are totally against, and we have a problem because the Department of Health is saying something that is totally confusing. The mayor is saying something else and the department is saying something else.
What has the mayor said to the people when she has these communications? Because we know from the Department of Health that they're saying that there has been continuous communications with the community.
On the stance for the mayor, we're totally very disappointed because she's not representing the interests of the community. The interest of our community is that we don't want the clinic to move away from the place where it is right now. But the mayor is not taking on the side. He's taking the side of Department of Health, and the Department of Health, if we ask them why they are removing the clinic, they are not having any response. We wrote numerous letters, we phoned them, we demanded that they must give us the reason why they want to move the clinic. They never give, and from the start, they never mention why they are taking this decision to remove the clinic. They don't have any reason. Now, if the mayor is saying it will be a good move, it's totally misleading the community because the community is not happy about the decision of moving the clinic. So in other words, the mayor is not representing the interests of the community that is leading.
But we know that the mayor is not just speaking alone. We know that the mayor is also speaking with eNCA, which is, I believe, that a traditional leader in the area. Then they would know what is best for the community. Why is it that you, as a community, still don't trust eNCA at this point?
There are a lot of issues that we believe if something has been mixed with eNCA, there will be a lot of wrong doing. Because the last time when there was a service delivery of RTP houses delivered to the community, the eNCA that they are talking about, he took about 3 RTP houses. As a result, we don't know what was the system or what was the arrangement giving the eNCA 3 RTP houses. So if this issue is being handled by him and the mayor, there will be a lot of wrongdoing. We want to know if, in fact, what was the use of getting the money to improve the clinic if the clinic is not yet improved? There's no toilets, there's no water, the clinic is just a suffering. In fact, it's not the clinic. We are making a mistake, even us, when we are saying it's a clinic. It's just a four-room house, the old apartheid house. That building we are talking about, it was built about 40 years ago, or maybe even more than 40 years ago, because we are talking about the building of 1978. We call it a clinic because we don't have anything. If you look at the clinics on other areas, it's totally way away, very, very, very poor. It's not the building that we can call it a clinic. It's just a four-room house.
So why do you want this four-room house then?
We want it because it's in a center. It's more closer to the people. It's where the people get the service. So if that forum is closed down, then the people will suffer. We as a community leaders, we are talking on behalf of the community because the community already spoke about what is going on and they are totally against what the Department of Health is doing. So we found so difficult why the department is not coming with something that is written down.
All right. So what is the community going to do now?
We are going to challenge this process that they are doing because we are totally against. Secondly, if they continue doing the removal of the clinic or closing down of the clinic, we will be forced to block them on the streets. And we will also approach other avenues like going to Human Rights Commission. We will also go to public protector to protect our community. We cannot let it go easily like that. We will going to fight until the end.
All right, thank you very much for speaking to us. Well, there is one of the community leaders, Gareth, that was speaking to us there. He is one of the people that were in the forefront when we were in front of that clinic. He is right, though. It's about a 4-bedroom house. We do understand that there were some improvements that were made into this 4-bedroom house that was used as a clinic from the 1970s. And we understand at that point the community was told that these would be upgrades, there would be a great clinic and so on. Years later, there is none of that, and now they're being told that there is closure. We have reached out to the Department of Health, and what they've told us is that they have not pronounced anything saying that there will be closure. But interestingly, Gareth, what we have heard as well from the staff that spoke to us is that there's actually 6 people that have already been moved from the clinic to other clinics that are neighboring, and the staff has been taken there. However, when we speak to the Department of Health about those issues, they decided to give us a formal reply saying that they have not pronounced anything. Everything is still on the table. They're still having conversations with the mayor. They're having conversations with Nqobile. But the mayor is under the impression that this will be a great move because the CHC that is yet to be built in years, I don't know, in a very long time to come, they're saying that that would be great for the community. They're still working on it, and the Department of Health is, of course, saying that this would be great to do. However, the department is saying they're not closing anything just yet. They're still in conversation. So they're just going to merge these 2 clinics, according to the mayor, but according to the Department of Health, none of that has already been decided to.
Yep, none of that as yet, which is why we have you there trying to make sense of this as well, because either way this goes, ramifications for the community. eNCA's Nqobile Madlala speaking to those who matter in the story. We'll get more details as she uncovers more details later in the day.